So I'm going to hit record. So welcome. Hello. Thank you so much for coming in this evening. I'm really grateful that you've come to join us. And I was just explaining to the girls online that I've done this session so many times and it's my absolute favorite and it's super close to my heart because this has been massively life-changing for me, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but it's the first time I've done it online, so I appreciate your grace and hopefully we will be able to have a bit of a discussion. Feel free to unmute yourselves at any stage and chime in and chat with me if you want to. Otherwise we'll save all the questions to the end so I can get through some of the content. I just leave you on mute because you'll probably have things like me with husband walking in and kids and all the stuff. So we'll save that for the recording. So let's kick off. Mood management, right? Anxious, stressed, overwhelmed. This was me. This was me. Now, why is it not? There we go. So are you ready to feel good more often? Because I know sure as heck I was absolutely in a place where I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired all of the time. I had been shift working at that point for more than a decade. I had been through post-traumatic stress disorder. I had been through postnatal depression. Sorry, I'm just adding some more people in. I have had a lot of, mental health stuff going on with me. My whole life I've had anxiety and depression, and then post babies, everything kind of ramped up, and then my PTSD as well. So for me, I was at a place where I was like, look, I feel like God's created us to have abundant life, and I don't know what that is anymore. It looks all good from the outside, but I wasn't being really honest with myself. I wasn't okay, and I didn't know what I needed to be okay. So like I said, this is super close to my heart because I've managed to find that and have massive freedom in my journey, and genuinely I love what I do and I love myself now like I could never have done before, and so there are so many things that I would love to be able to. Oh, look, I can just click like that. So here's me. There's a picture of me in this photo on the left here. I'm pregnant with Harrison. This is before my doTERRA journey. Again, it's a nice photo, but I was frightened. I'd lost a baby before that. I had a very traumatic, whole lot of stuff go down with my first son. So this is me being pregnant with my second after having had a miscarriage in my second trimester, and then with this pregnancy I'd bled for the first it was 5 months. Yeah, it was a long time in that pregnancy as well, and then we actually got told that he had chromosomal disorders as well. So it's a beautiful picture of me, yay, pregnant, and there's me with Harry in this moment, which I randomly found tonight when I was just trying to get a couple of pictures for you in this. And that's Harry. That's Harry, probably about the time when we had some results with starting to use doTERRA, which is remarkable. He was born quite well, then got very unwell, and some of you know the story around this respiratory stuff with him, which was massive. So I was juggling all the things. The photo on the right there, that's the most recent pic of us as a family. My 7-year-old, after having a meltdown, I'm holding him, looking the other way, the craziness of the 4-year-old, and of course a baby. So that's a bit more of my current life right now. So would you like to be more happy, connected, more empowered? Yeah, I think we all would, right? And this empowerment thing, it's not a nice line in a tag to add into stuff. It's real. It's the real deal. And I'm here to tell you and show you that you absolutely can. We can do this. So for those of you who are already in the Holistic Wellness Collective, you hear me bang on the whole time about the mind, body, and spirit connection. That's the whole reason why we create this holistic, being, all encompassing those 3 specific parts of us, and wellness being complete health, that we actually can arrive at this complete health. So that we're created to function as a whole. We're not separated that way, and we are all connected at a cellular level. So we actually have more neuropathways going from our heart to our brain than we do our brain to our heart. So our feelings are really important. and we don't get to validate that so much. So our body is actually super intelligent, and we are wired to restore health. In this picture here, self-care, people, we actually have to be proactive in our healthcare, and we have to advocate for ourselves. I was on shift last night, and I had a nurse in front of me, and I said, how are you? You don't look after yourself, do you? Are you really? She's like, yeah, no, I probably should eat a little bit better. And, I'm not able to work out like I normally would. But I said, no, really, do you look after yourself? And she burst into tears. And this is constantly what I see when you go that next question with people and you're really genuine in the way that you can approach people, is that so many of us just aren't looking after ourselves. And I'm the only one that can give my kids the best mother and be a wife and all the things. We're constantly giving out to others, but we're not putting in. So we actually have to claim that gift of wellness and be proactive in making it happen for us. So emotions in the body. So they are information that actually bind to cell receptors. They go into the cell and they impact our function and our behavior. So now more common, when I started teaching this years ago, it wasn't quite as heard of to talk about your gut as your second brain. And this is looking at the three brains. So actually from a scientific point of view, and there's a great quote that I need to, oh yeah, it is on the side. The three brains communicating with each other, they feed back to and influence the mind. Dr. Caroline Leaf, some of you may know her, she's a neuroscientist, and she is at the forefront of a lot of the discoveries in the world, actually coming from a biblical perspective that you can renew your mind. So she has worked with patients that have been in a vegetative state and actually been able to get them fully functioning physically and emotionally, and accomplish university degrees, which is remarkable considering that they were never supposed to. So our body is designed to heal itself. Our mind, so that's our logic and our intellect, and our subconscious mind is directing over 90% of our behaviors. But like I said before, our heart, that's our intuition, then that's the neural pathways that are running from our heart. So we're feeling into things. And I don't think, particularly, I think that there'll be a lot of women that, like humans, we have it, right? We can all be intuitive and perceptive. You've got to stop and think about it, though, for lack of a better phrase. But you need to following the way that you feel. And I think we're taught to think and be logical about so much more. So we've learned how to ignore our intuition. You hear it talked about when you become a mother, and just trust your gut, or you're the mother, you know what really should happen in this situation. So then we start tapping into it more for our children. But I would encourage you to look at it more for yourself, because we know when we're off just a little bit, but we don't give it the space there. So our gut feeling, so 90% of our serotonin, which is our happy hormone, is actually produced in our gut. So when you think about that, and that for me was like a massive moment, because I was like, of course, I've been put on so many medications and so many drugs, and none of the doctors that I'd been seeing had actually looked at me from being on a probiotic, sorry, I'm just trying to shift my light a little bit, looking at what was going on with my digestive enzymes, and if I'm not producing serotonin. So what are antidepressants? They're serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So if you don't have serotonin, they've got nothing to work up on. So this is a way of naturally improving what we're doing. And there's a number of ways. Obviously, we get a whole lot of endorphins from exercise, different foods, from things that get us really excited. There's happiness stuff that we can create from a chemical point of view, but I'm talking tonight just from like a more of a physical, emotional connection with our bodies there. I'm not the movement specialist. So how do we process life's experiences? So I love this graphic because story of my life, right? So many of us. You've got the dog barking at you, you've got somebody at you on the phone, you've got a baby crying. So how do you process that? Your brain is telling you have to figure it out. Your heart is just feeling overwhelmed, like I don't even know where to start. And your gut often gets stuck. Now, when I do this in person, I've had people around the table, and oh my goodness, the stories that come out when I've said, have you ever felt any digestive symptoms around what has been going on. And every time I've done this session, there has been at least one person who has said, oh, I actually get really bad constipation with what's going on with the situation at work, or I had for months, I didn't know what was happening, and I had this guy bullying me, and I had constant diarrhea. And so interesting from a digestive point of view, often our body will actually show us in our gut as one of the first things that we need to tap into. But we don't think that that's an emotional thing. We just go, oh, I didn't drink enough water, or I didn't move enough. So there's a key point that you might take away tonight. Being aware, the self-awareness of what is going on with you physically is always connected to what's going on emotionally. So feelings are really chemicals that can help or hurt you. There's nothing in the middle with health. It's like you're either eating something that is going to be bringing life or bringing death. There's not a gray area with health. This is good and this is not good. There's so many things that we kind of try and, feelings, emotions, they're going to help you or they're going to hurt you. Which one are we working from? So from a reactive point of view, you will get head tension, we get conflicting feelings because our heart doesn't know what to do with our brain, and we're trying to feel differently to the way that we think, and we often get unsettled stomach. So this is where this disconnection comes in. I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but I've felt disconnected with a lot of what's been going on with me physically. And that equals your belief. So you're pouring into that beautiful plant that is growing in your brain, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm not enough. I can't measure up. I don't know what to do in this situation. I'm in pain all the time. Or I'm not enough for my family or for my children. Society is telling me this, right? You think about all the stuff that gets fed in. So your belief, your mindset, the way that we think and the way that we feel creates our reality. Absolutely. That is what is changing our health more than anything else. So how can we look at essential oils in this instance for healthy emotions? So essential oils, we're talking about supporting you from a cellular function. They're anchored in healthy biochemistry, and they're promoting a physical and emotional detox. Like, what the heck? Have you not heard everybody doing gut cleanses and detoxing and what we can do from a physical point of view? Did you know you can do that emotionally? Did you know that you can do that with yourselves and support yourself? This is why essential oils, like nothing else that we can get our hands on, are crazy impacting in what is going on from our brain perspective and all over our body. So that when I'm feeling anxious and I can grab something like my Frankie boy here, I can inhale him, I can take him internally, and I can use him topically, and that's going to affect different people in different ways, but that's something that I can take that's automatically going to come. My favorite with him is actually just putting a bit on your thumb and pressing into the roof of your mouth for panic attacks or heightened emotion. And if you can see me on the screen, you'll notice that I can't ever actually do that without it shifting. As much as I try and talk through it, it actually just shifts you emotionally. So you have to pause, take a big breath, and then notice that. And I have done that with so many people, children, animals, people that have been nonverbal, heightened attacks emotionally, and Frankie boy has made a huge difference in that instance. The other one that I cannot do the session without talking about is actually Copaiba. But what we're looking at in front of you here is a magnified peppermint oil sac. So a lot of you will know now that peppermint is 1 drop of peppermint oil is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So we're talking about a crazy potent amount of plant, concentrated, hardcore, pure plant. So 1 drop is actually 40 million trillion molecules. So these chemical compounds service every cell in our bodies within a matter of minutes. And that's no matter which way you're taking them. If you're inhaling them, using them topically, or taking them internally that way. Sorry, I'm feeling like my lighting is really bad, but you probably can't even see my screen. So we need to choose carefully, right? We can't just be putting anything in our bodies. And this is why I am a wellness advocate for doTERRA, because doTERRA have recently we've come up with the Pursue What's Pure thing, but we're the only company that carries that certified pure therapeutic grade, which is super important to me. So other essential oil companies, you can see the amount of oils that are in the world at the moment. That massive gray section in the pie graph is synthetic essential oils, and they are all around us. Then there's food grade, and then you can see that section there in the yellow. So there's a therapeutic grade, and that's a fair chunk, that purple section. And there are other companies, and there's in that orange section, so we're the biggest essential oil company in the world. We use plants that are harvested in their natural habitat from country of origin, and we have crazy stringent third-party testing. And if you are coming to convention in a couple of weeks, you will hear from some of the science people and some of the stuff that goes through with doTERRA, and you will be way trusting of the system. It is incredible, the stuff that has to go through with these plants. They don't make it to your bottle in your house without a large process before then. So how can we use essential oils to affect our mood? Whoopsies. Oh no, how do I go back? Oh, look at that. There we go. So aromatically, so what I was just talking about then is, now I don't know if you can see my little face. I'm trying to move my little face out of the way. Shifting your mood. So smell is the fastest way to affect your mood. You think about when you smell something rancid and you like open up the bin that's had nappies or dog poo or something, cat vomit or something, and straight away you have that emotional response to something negative. Well, in a positive way, the same thing happens. So what happens when you inhale something through your hands or straight out of the bottle? What can I smell here? I'll get me some Citrus Bliss. There's some great mood uplifting properties there. So great aromatic one with the citrus oil. This is our invigorating blend. This is actually free this month for anybody getting started with a customer account, but Citrus Bliss. So if I inhale that, those volatile aromatic compounds are actually going to go up my nasal passages into my olfactory system, and then my limbic system, which is that gray matter which is sitting just in here, which affects all of my emotions, my memory center, and my mood is right in that limbic system. So it doesn't go through your spinal cord. Inhaling things aromatically has direct chemical access, not going through your spinal cord, to affect your emotions and your response to something. You can see how incredibly powerful that is once you know the science behind it, right? The example that they have given there is Balance. So Balance is used for grounding. That's our grounding blend. That's one in the mood management kit as well. I actually have a roller top on mine because I use mine topically. Balance, this one here. So they've listed that for anxious feelings, bringing harmony to the body and mind, but being grounded, getting your feet back on the ground. I use that daily with wild orange actually on the soles of my feet. So Balance, frankincense, wild orange are a starter from an emotional point of view to be pulling back that higher level of emotion. Topically, so we're using essential oils topically to self-repair. So you can apply them on the back of your neck, across your forehead, bottoms of your feet, like I was just talking about, over your heart area. I find if I'm really needing some soothing, or like I'm going to be talking, I grab some stuff and I put it on my arms. I can apply here, and also something like Digest Zen, which is going to be moving things from a digestive point of view, bringing your body back to hemostasis, so settling all of that. Plants, right? So the same thing for constipation as with diarrhea. We're supporting our bodies to be back into that hemostasis, that equilibrium, to be pulling it back. So you're not going to do any harm. All you're going to do is bringing benefit to your body in so many areas. And internally, so balance chemical reactions, right? The example that we have here is On Guard. So that is our protective blend, which is emotionally giving strength, and it's also boosting our immune function. So when you think of On Guard from a physical sickness point of view, but also from an emotional point of view, it is incredibly protective, right? It says it on the bottle, protective blend. So you can take that internally. We have it in our porridge. We take the beadlets. You can get the On Guard caps. We also, sorry, that's just my husband in the kitchen if you can hear him. We also have that, how else do we take it internally? Beadlets, capsules, just in your water. You can have it if you like it strong like that. But I like taking it in a soft gel or a beadlet. So essential oils obviously being dynamic, and other lifestyle choices to support healthy emotions. So increasing water intake, exercise and movement. Water, having good quality filtered water is the number one thing that you can be doing to support your body. And it is crazy affordable, right? Every time I have water in the morning, I will have that with a citrus that increases your cleansing properties. And it's going to make a big difference. We talked about, a detox from an emotional perspective, but also physically. So there's a number of benefits why you would have the essential oil as opposed to the actual fruit. Not sure I'm going to get time to go into that as well, but also improving your diet. So nutrition makes a huge difference. Eating more plants, getting more plants on you and in you any way you can is always going to be super beneficial for your body. So there's a graph here on emotional support moment by moment. So if you haven't seen this, is our emotional aromatherapy wheel. So you can go to an emotion. So if you're feeling distressed or gloomy, for example, you can see that those emotions fit into the citrus category. So citrus, like citrus bliss that we were just talking about, or elevation for that baseline. So there's 4 mood management oils. So these come in a little pack together. So they're $124 when you already have a wholesale account, or you can get them for $160 and get started with a customer account with us. So there is elevation, which is our joyful blend. Lavender peace, which is our restful one. So you look at this wheel here and look where lavender peace would sit. So that's more of like your peace and console kind of zone. So what is the ingredients in this is woods. So you're looking at the trees, and florals. So there's chamomile, yang yang, marajam, Hawaiian sandalwood, vetiver. So see how this is sitting in the floral tree. So that's your, grounding, restful stuff over there. Yep. And the citrusy ones around the corner, mood uplifting, and then balance again, a grounding one, which is a bit of a, and this wheel talks about their next level with our emotional aromatherapy stuff. So Motivate is our encouraging blend that's got mints and with citrus. Stunning blend. One of my absolute faves, along with Passion, which is known for increasing libido in a lot of people, but I personally find it inspiring from a creative point of view. Forgive. So you might not like the grassy, herby kind of smell, but man, that stuff works. From a forgiving of self, forgiving other people. Peace is another more complex blend, of course, with those anxious, fearful, insecure, worried kind of emotions. Then we can be promoting peace in that way as well. So foundational support. So this is so key. What is it that you want to plant? So using the Long Life Vitality system is the number one thing that I recommend to everybody, because you're looking from a gut health perspective. You are supplementing yourself for all the micronutrients, your healthy fats, the stuff that we don't get in our normal diet. And I know plenty of people with an insanely amazing diet, everything made from scratch at home, and they still take this stuff every day, and they can function at an epic level. I have halved the amount of sleep that I need since I've been on this range. My hair is better, my skin is better, my acne has calmed down. That was the biggest change that I made for me, for my awareness, for my self-care. And then I saw the results of the essential oils being layered on top of that to be able to get me to sleep. For starters, sleep is huge when we're talking about emotional stuff, right? It's often the first thing. To digestive health, sleep, also related around our emotions there. So that is going to be helping all those levels. You can get that if you're our rewards program. You can get an extra $100 off that, plus more. Those bottles are like $80 to $100 each, and you can get all three for $115 Australian. And that is a 1 or 2 month supply depending on your dosage, and that is the best value you're ever going to get. You also get your percentage back, up to 30% back on that, with our rewards program as well. So the PB Assist, that is our probiotic. I highly recommend everybody is on a daily probiotic. We have the kids range of probiotics as well, and there you'll see a couple of the citrus oils, so Zendocrine and lemon, are from a detoxing point of view. The GX Assist is another one. Those of you who are in the collective, we have a whole section on gut health, which is excellent, that I had a specialist do for us. So Barrett Munro has done that session, and it is recorded and in the unit section on our group. You can go over and dive deeper into your Terrazymes and your pre and probiotics and our painted in range of stuff that we have with doTERRA, which is not available anywhere else. And I just dropped an oil. So healthy lifestyle support. Okay, this is something that you want to look at yourself. So what are you doing for your mind? So working on healthy thought patterns. Tick. Choosing to believe good about myself. Nourishing my brain with good fats and minerals. So see the picture down the bottom. What is it that you need to weed out? We can't talk about detoxing our life and swapping our cleaning products and washing our clothes with the laundry detergent without saying, well, actually, who are the toxic people? What are the toxic thoughts that I'm thinking about myself? What are the environments that I'm in? And often people go, actually, yeah, I need to give myself permission to not talk to my mother or my sister or that father who is whatever is going on. And I'm a massive fan of family. I'm not saying cut out your family, but there is some situations where you will appreciate you need to protect yourself and support yourself. And they don't mean to, they love us, but if you're feeling that someone is toxic and their words and their speech, you need to be protective of yourself until you're in a different emotional state where you can handle that at another level. What is it that you want to plant? So once you've done all the weeding and you throw some good nutrients in the soil, what are you going to plant in there? Are you going to trust yourself? Are you going to say, yes, I freely give and I freely receive love? Are you receiving love, or are you just giving it? Do you choose peace? Are you pursuing peace as an active thing? And are you resting well? Are you giving yourself permission to rest? Do you take a day off a week? Do you have an hour to yourself? Do you have regular structure in your day that is going to be inputting into you? What are you planting? New beliefs, relationships. What are you supplementing with? What substances are you using? And then, of course, your healthy gut. So you're digesting and processing foods well. See these positive things that you can be ticking off. And when we do this in person, I give everybody a handout and they take it home and we do homework. My body is healthy and feels good. So how are you going to nourish the seed of what you're planting? It's a bit of a process, right? So what are you nourishing in you? Are you being around people who are going to be living in a way that you are going to be improved with? This is what I love about our collective, that we regularly do online chats, things in person. I have massively improved the way that I think and feel about the world and my life in general, solely from being part of a community, and then going that next step and creating a community here for us where you can feel seen and heard and loved on. You've got to take the proactive approach and actually jump into stuff though. That's your choice. It's there for you. So how are we going to do that? So gardening support. Yep, that is me with my little ones. How can we help you? Do you want to book a phone chat with me? Everybody in the collective has access to that. I do a free 90-minute session. I do a free 30-minute session where we do a 90-day plan for people. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, then feel free to send me a text message or an email after this. Or if you've got people in your world and you're sitting there going, oh my goodness, I just wish that Auntie Elna could have these products in her world because she's so struggling right now. She's in isolation at home, and it would be so great to give her some mood uplifting support. What can I do for her? So give me a call. I'm happy to have those conversations with people. We have Lime and Citrus Bliss to give to any new account this month. And we also have bonuses for anybody who is sharing with anybody else. So if it's you that needs this greater support, as it often is, then please give me a call and we will talk about things personally. If it's somebody else, or if you're watching this back and you don't have a customer account yet, then you need to. It gives you access to our community, our collective, all of the training that we do. The majority of it is free and insanely well priced for the stuff that we do charge out at. A lot of us are professionals in our specific areas of expertise. There is a plethora of people that you get access to, and we genuinely love supporting each other and our communities. So you will get a lot of help for free. Again, you need to be proactive in that. So if you don't already have a customer account, then please let me know. I don't retail anything to anybody. I set everybody up with a wholesale account so that you can jump in and order what you want when you need to. But I'm here every day of the week to guide you into what it is that you need for that next step. Like I said, we have also ongoing training and support as we go on and on. So this quote here, which I think I'll end with, you fill a bucket drop by drop. You clean your mind, thought by thought. Clean, it's actually clear. I read it in that different font. But we heal ourselves moment by moment. And if you're up for some physical healing and some emotional healing, then I am here to instill the largest amount of hope in you that I possibly can, that it is there for the taking. It is there for the taking. You just have to choose it. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen drop by drop, thought by thought, moment by moment. And I love this because nature was our first remedy and our best remedy to lift the mind, renew the body, and heal the heart. And that is what we are all about. So I'm going to stop this slide here because I just go into a few more specifics about some of the starter packs that you can jump in with. So you don't need to pay a $35 enrollment fee that is waived with any of our starter packs. There's 3 types of people. So you can just live the wellness lifestyle, and then you will start sharing with other people because these products are that good. And then you can do what I do and massively supplement my income and make a bigger impact, because I'm genuinely super passionate about helping people find the alternatives that are there that make a bigger difference than what we can from a pharmaceutical point of view. So if you want to, we can send an email, and I'm just going to click out of there and stop the screen share. There we go. That's the button that I was looking for there. And if anybody has any questions for me, then fire away. I am going to pause that recording. Thank you to anybody who joined us watching it back. We will hear from you shortly.